Hello everyone, this is Chaowang. Welcome to Professional Development Training for Virtual Reality VR and Augmented Reality AR. I will also talk about how we can use AR and VR in rural schools. There are mainly 5 objectives in this online training. First, to learn the basic knowledge about AR and VR, how and why we need to use AR and VR in educational settings, especially in rural schools. Also, I will talk about how to make and use Google Expedition Kit. There will be a step-to-step introduction how we can make it with our students. Also, I will discuss how we can incorporate AR and VR in different subjects. Finally, I will provide some additional resources and help. Then, what are VR, AR, and why we need to implement VR and VR in classrooms? AR and VR are not super new things, and most of us are familiar with VR, which is the use of computer technology to create a simulated environment. According to Square and Clover, AR could be broadly defined as a situation in which a real-world context is dynamically overlaid with coherent location or context-sensitive virtual information. In educational settings, AR exploits the affordance of the real world by providing additional and contextual information that augments learners' experience of reality. What are advantages of AR and VR? First, help learners engage in authentic exploration in the real world. Virtual objects such as texts, videos, and pictures are supplementary elements for learners to conduct investigations of the real-world surroundings. They are not just watching videos on a rectangle, but experiencing impacts exerted by the virtual reality. Second, extend to the integration of real-world and digital learning resources. The usage of AR enables learners to experience scientific phenomena that are not possible in the real world. For example, through explorations in AR, students were able to view the virtual solar system on the classroom table, or to virtualize a process of photosynthesis. Students can experiment with more reactive chemicals, especially more dangerous, in a virtual reality where there is no danger to the students. Third, the potential to engage learners in manipulating virtual materials from a variety of perspectives. AR system not only provides students with a real-world setting to collaborate together, but also demonstrated virtual 3D objects for students to operate, measure, and manipulate in order to understand spatial relationships. Also, VR and AR can bring people together. Students can have a story conversation that can transcend the classroom campus, let them connect globally. When we talk about emerging technologies, we seldom think about underdeveloped things. But as teachers, educators, we need to take responsibility to help students, even they live in underdeveloped areas. Children from affluent families get more opportunities to try new sports, to explore their interests at science or art camp, to travel beyond their community, even their country. According to the study, affluent families spend triple the amount of money on the enrichment of goods and services for their children. Some people claim that AR and VR are not substitutes of real experience. Yes, they are right. A virtual reality field trip to Egypt is no substitute for strolling markets, smelling the species, or touching the Great Pyramid. But look at children in remote area. They are learning about Egypt from the outdated and expensive textbooks. VR and AR can provide almost identical, more efficient, and less costly learning options for children who live in poor areas. I know it will be too ideal if I say buy each student a VR, but when I was in primary school, my parents couldn't afford a computer and my school didn't hand out one to each student. However, my school brought in a computer lab. So each class took turns playing some educational games and we moved on to other subjects until the next exciting trip to the lab. That evolved into multiple labs, which slowly evolved. I think the same could happen with regards to AR and VR implementation in rural areas. Slow at first, many schools will likely see all of their students sharing the same limited devices. Eventually, as AR and VR become more mainstream in our life outside of schooling, we'll see pricing become more competitive. Just like Google's official slogan claimed, experience virtual reality in a simple, fun, and affordable way. Okay. Let's explore VR and VR in classroom now. I'd like to introduce Google VR since it's one of the most affordable and practical devices. Well, Google Cardboard brings immersive experience to everyone in a simple and affordable way. You can buy a cardboard on the official website, or you can simply buy it in Amazon by typing Google Expedition Kit. You can see there are different kinds of cardboard. Well, it will be interesting if you build a cardboard with your kids. You're gonna need some supplies, some of them you are going to already have, some you will have to buy, but that's okay because most of them are very cheap. The first is a cardboard, 9 inches by 22 inches. It should be thin and rigid, or you can even use a pizza box. Second, two lenses, 40mm focal length. Third, one neodymium ring magnet and one ceramic disc magnet. The magnets are for clicking while you are wearing your phone. They interact with the phone's magnetic compass. And one rubber band to hold the phone in place. And of course, a smartphone. Also, you are going to need a box to cut, scissors, a ruler, a little bit of glue, and measuring tape. Okay, now you need to download the templates. So going to vr.google.com, you will find download the kit. After you download, you can see this and open the folder. There are several templates you need to download. Open that, you can see these. So just simply print them out. Okay, now let's watch a video to see how to make a cardboard by yourself.
Here's what you'll need. A piece of cardboard at least 22 inches by 8.75 inches, two 2-inch strips of 3/4 inch wide Velcro, one 3/4 inch neodymium ring magnet, one 3/4 inch ceramic disc magnet, two biconvex lenses, roughly 45mm focal length, and optionally a rubber band and an NFC tag. Additionally, the tools you will need for this project are an X-Acto knife, a straight edge, Scotch tape, some spray adhesive or contact cement, and you may also find some superglue handy. Begin by downloading the manufacturer's kit directly from Google, linked below. Extract the zip file, open the scissor cut template, and print the 3 pages. Use a straight edge to trim away the excess paper from the templates, and use tape or glue to connect the 3 pieces of the main body template together. Align the corresponding numbers over one another with the light numbers on top. In total, there will be 3 templates. the body, the lens holder, and the lens divider. Next, trim away any extra cardboard you may have. Working with a large box I salvaged from my recent move, I really only needed one side of the box. Once all the excess is cut away, lightly coat the cardboard with spray adhesive. Let it sit for 3 to 5 minutes and press the 3 separate templates into place. Here is the not so fun part, cutting out every little nib with an X-Acto knife. I started by trimming away all the unnecessary outside pieces, then worked my way in. For all the tight corners or small spaces that need to be cut, it's easier to just perforate the cardboard by stabbing it repeatedly rather than trying to drag and cut, which will often end in you cutting off more than you need or want. The best advice for this part is to be patient. It's going to take you at least 30 to 45 minutes to cut everything out, and your hand will probably cramp up a time or two. I finished by cutting out all the rounded pieces last. You can try to use round objects that are close in radius to what you're cutting, but I chose to slowly freehand all the round cuts. Again, patience is key. Once everything is cut out, it's time to begin assembling. Insert the lenses into the 2 eye holes, paying attention to their orientation. The paper template tells you which direction the lenses should face. Fold the top third of the lens holder template down and the lower third up so that the middle panel is sandwiched between the two and the lenses can't fall out. Next, use a straight edge to help you make straight and sharp folds on all the lighter colored lines on the template. Place the ceramic magnet in its designated spot, I ended up gluing it, and then put the neodymium magnet on the opposite side of that same piece of cardboard, and start folding. Insert the lens holder with the divider and wrap the cardboard frame around it, lining up all the proper slots and grooves. When I folded mine up all the way, I noticed there was an extra flap I didn't need. So I cut it off and opened up the hole for access to the neodymium magnet, which will operate as your select button when using the headset. I added a touch of super glue to the inside of this panel and glued the headset shut. You could also use Velcro here if you choose. Next, add the Velcro strips to the top of the flap where you will later insert your phone, and optionally you can add an NFC tag to your cardboard. Program it by downloading the app Trigger and creating an action which will launch the Cardboard app. You will also need to download the Cardboard app onto your phone first, then launch the app and insert the phone into the headset. You can now experience virtual reality at will. The problem with this headset is that it won't work with larger phones like the Nexus 6. For that, you will need a headset based on Google Cardboard 2.0, which isn't quite as DIY friendly, but just as possible to make yourself, with a little more homework, no magnets, and a conductive pad required. Either way, this is a fantastic way to get your hands on VR quickly and for dirt cheap. Save for the lenses, you can make 3, 5, or even more of these for just a few bucks.
There are several apps. The first one is Cardboard. When you open it, there are several other apps recommended within Bob-Up VR, Wentworth VR. Bob-Up VR is more suitable for young kids. Because it's hard to video what's in the kit, so I have to record it this way. There is another useful resources, Cardboard Teaching. You can see it's in Chinese. It's available for different languages. And when you open it, you can see there are a bunch of information which can fit in different subjects, or you can simply search by categories: arts and culture, landscapes, science, environment. Let's try landscapes. So in each material there are several scenes, and before you use it you have to download it, and we can see all pictures are 3D, and there are introduction for each scene. I'm not very good at handcraft, so I simply bought one from Amazon, and I have to say it's really cool when you see 3D images and videos in this small kit. Another resource I'm going to introduce is ClassVR, which is relatively mature educational VR devices. doesn't like Google Kit, the school have to buy the devices which develop to headset with a student-friendly interface, gesture controls, embedded educational resources, and simple-to-use teacher controls. This is the official website of ClassVR. This is the headset. And unlike other VR headsets, ClassVR doesn't require any additional devices. Everything is fully integrated into the device, making it easy to use and super reliable. And students can simply hold it or put it on the head. Besides VR, Classroom VR is augmented reality supported, which means students not only can express virtual reality and they can experience augmented reality. Educational interface. This is what you can see when you put on the headset, and the highlight of ClassVR is there is a holodeck. We can see icons here, and teachers can customize their own icons. Students and teachers can only use thumb up to control the device. Like I said, this is designed for classroom, so it's very safe, secure, and ready for classrooms. They can be charged in this box. And we can see it's very portable, so if the school cannot purchase each for a student, students can share it. And on the website, there are a bunch of information. There are even some lesson plans. Teachers can search lesson plan by subject, topic, or even a keyword. You can find curriculum-aligned resources, and you can also custom your own lesson plans. Also, you can upload your own VR content.
The ClassVR portal makes it easy to guide students through curriculum-linked virtual reality experiences. First, create a playlist of VR content that's relevant to your teaching session. You can browse through our extensive range of hand-picked collections or choose individual 360 experiences. To add a track or a whole collection to your playlist, simply drag and drop. It's easy to find exactly the resources you need. Just use the search function.
Okay, let's see two lesson plan sample. This is for science. Is there life on Mars? And we can see there are National Curriculum Science, Year 5 Earth and Space. Students should be taught. And there are before your trip to Mars, immersive experience. And there are follow-up activities. Also, one lesson plan can fit into different subjects. So no matter what subject you teach, you can find how to customize the lesson plan for your classroom. This is an augmented reality lesson plan, and there are even worksheets. Then classroom management. When you start your VR lesson, you can deliver it to every student simultaneously and guide them through the experience, highlighting points of interest and promoting collaboration and peer discussion along the way. We can see teachers can deliver this image to each device, and there is student head tracking. So we can see what they are looking for in the portal. You can see what they are looking. And you can lock the image. And you can lock the image. When you focus something, students cannot change it.
Once you've selected the VR experiences for your teaching session, click Deliver at the top of the screen to begin guiding your students through them. You can instantly see which of your ClassVR headsets are connected to Wi-Fi, which are in active use, and if any have low battery. Just press play to send the 360 image directly to all student headsets simultaneously. You'll notice indicators moving across your preview image. These show you precisely where each student is looking using our head tracking technology. To draw students' attention to a specific point on the 360 image, simply click to create a hotspot. Inside their Class VR headset, each student will see a trail to follow, leading them to this location. And of course, head tracking allows you to check that their attention is focused. To move students on to the next experience in your playlist, just click this skip button. Our innovative Class View technology also allows teachers to see a real-time feed of each student's view inside their headset.
There are also VR/AR content, and let's see AR content and resources first. Augmented reality brings educational content to life, allowing students to view and interact with exciting 3D models, providing greater engagement, understanding, and ultimately knowledge retention. They can even see heartbeat in front of them. And there are resources for different subjects. I think we can imagine how AR and VR being used in classrooms for science, but how about history and English? In ELA classes, teachers can use AR to talk about the theme they are going to write about. Students have opportunities to see what the things really look like, instead of imagining by seeing a picture or reading an article. New experience with VR/AR inspires students to express. For younger students, they can only develop their spoken English. For K-12 students, this is a good way to write imaginative narratives. Students' world is never limited in classrooms or their home. AR brings the world right in front of them. This is the VR content and resources. We can see the resources for VR is more than that for AR. Find the one fit into your classes, and then you can see different themes. Click anyone. And when you open it, you can see subject, and hopefully there are US state standard, so you can find standard for your class, and there are also Common Core state standards. It's in detail. Last thing I want to mention about Classroom VR is there is teacher training. They train teacher how to use technology successful in the classroom, and they can help you with devices, teach you how to use Class VR portal, and how to customize their provided lesson plans into your classrooms. After talking about two VR/AR devices, I'd like to talk about the purpose we use VR and VR for different grades, including preschool education, elementary schools, secondary schools, and higher education. For preschool education, there are mainly three purposes. First, developing speaking skills. Every aspect of early literacy is underpinned by high-quality experiences that stimulate speaking and listening, from conveying simple needs to creative storytelling. The best way to build vocabulary and awareness of sentence structure is through real-world experiences. Second, enhancing real-life experiences. Taking preschool children to visit a park or a zoo is the perfect way to teach them about the world. But how can you extend that learning after the field trip is over? You cannot take them to the zoo every day or every week. And how about their memories begin to fade? VR and AR allows children to step back inside their experience. It also offers great potential to extend their understanding. For example, you can let them learn about pandas, and after the trip, you can ask them, do you remember pandas we saw in the zoo? How about let's see how it would look like and how their behaviors in their natural habitat. Third, opening up opportunities. It's difficult to understand or talk about something you are never see them, especially for younger children. They cannot imagine it if they haven't seen that. Some of students may never have seen the ocean or been to the city, but with VR, you can let them experience it for themselves. And VR and AR also allow you to foster their imagination and follow their interest. For elementary school students, AR and VR can enhance literacy. According to a study, speaking skills, writing skills show a marked improvement in students who have had the opportunity to explore a virtual environment. The immersive sensory nature of VR improves the quality of students' language. The immediacy of the experience is beneficial for those students who struggle to think of what to write. Second, placing learning in context. Creating a context for learning is crucial for deepening understanding. Learning about the phase of the moon from the textbook was just fine for some students, but the added contextual information is invaluable. They can access when they are placed on the surface of the moon, looking back at Earth, improving retention. Engaging and immersive personal experience simply cannot be matched in terms of information retention. The ability to reimagine the VR experience in which you learned a new concept is incredibly powerful and is of particular benefit to students who struggle to retain focus in a traditional classroom environment. Fourth, supporting specific needs. VR and AR open up exciting learning opportunities for students with specific educational needs. Imagine the power of recording a quick immersive video of your field trip destination ahead of time, giving students with autism or sensory integration challenges the chance to get accustomed to an unfamiliar environment. For secondary schools, students can develop their empathy. One of the less frequently considered benefits of VR in the classroom is the unparalleled opportunities it gives your students to truly inhabit the perspectives of others. Think about the understanding and emotional experience a student could gain from standing in the trenches during World War I, or the insight into life in other cultures. This is a good opportunity to develop your students to cosmopolitans. Also, VR and AR provide more opportunities for students to create things and to explore the outside world. For higher education, students can experience workplaces. VR gives students opportunities to experience the reality of being in an unfamiliar working experiment. VR videos from the perspective of an employee can work alongside traditional shadowing and workplace visits, allowing students to revisit challenging situations at their own pace. Also, students can gain a new perspective. In addition to putting themselves in the shoe of an experienced employee, VR gives students a unique method of analysis with customers, service users, and clients. What does it really feel like to be an elderly person receiving residential care? How students feel like if I teach in different methods? More importantly, VR can deepen students' learning. Medical researchers Billison and Weiss said the empathetic response triggered by a 3D video is so much more powerful than reading case studies alone. Researchers in science and medical fields are already making great use of immersive technology. Well, now let's watch a short video about virtual reality anatomy lab at CSU.
So in this program, we can see virtual cadavers in front of us. We can manipulate that cadaver system. We can look any direction, any structure.
We're part of a larger university-wide virtual reality initiative, and this is just one of Colorado State University's commitments to providing an education that is second to none.
So I can grab any structure, I can remove it, I can manipulate it, I can look at it from any direction.
We were looking into ways that we could use technology to try to improve our anatomy curriculum. Anatomy is essentially a very spatial exercise, understanding how parts...
We can see learning with VR is much more powerful than traditional learning. It provides immersive experience for students. With available resources, we can plan different classes for each subject for different grades. I listed the resources I use, and I hope this video provides helpful information about VR and VR for you. Thank you.